brush it with my fingers sometimes. I don't actually use a hairbrush. Maybe I'll try a wall ride 900 again, but this is like over 20 foot tall. Apples, because they're like on the cheaper end of the fruit and I'm on a budget at the moment. This might take me a while. Goofy's alright. Brightest BMX, and yeah, it always just fixes everything, doesn't it? Hello, I'm Sammy G, and this is my From the Groms podcast. Gonna answer your questions.
All right, question 1: shows or contest?
I think really contest. I'd probably say contests can either leave you feeling like really bad if you don't get what you want, or you can feel really good if you like do how you want. But I think shows, you always feel good afterwards. So I think in terms like, I probably more enjoy doing shows because like you always feel sick and then like there's not as much pressure, and then you always feel good afterwards rather than like contests. Sometimes it can be like a make or break and you might be a bit upset if you didn't do good.
Question number 2: would you try a wall ride to Fly Flare again?
Well, maybe if there was like probably not, to be honest, because rewatching the clips, it wasn't even a 5 flare, it was like a 900. Maybe I'd try a wall ride 900 again, but 5 flare probably not.
So you reckon you'd give that wall ride 9 if you found the good setup again?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I think that setup there that day was like I reckon it was like a perfect setup, honestly. But yeah, probably wall ride 5 flare. Probably wouldn't try it again.
There you go. Don't blame you. Question 3: is it true you eat lots of apple?
Yeah, I like just any fruit in general, to be honest, because I don't really eat any junk food. So instead of junk food, I eat fruit because it's really sweet. But I usually sometimes I go apples because they're like on the cheaper end of the fruit and I'm on a budget at the moment.
Question number 4: what's the scariest thing you've ever done on your bike?
Oh,
I'm sure there'd be a few things that are up there.
it's the scariest. Oh, scariest. This might take me a while. I think scariest. I don't know, eh? I can't answer.
Come on, Sammy. Surely you got something in Perth.
Yeah.
That bowl, that flip drop would have been nuts. Flare downy the box.
I don't know if that was, I'd say, scary. Oh, it could have been scary. Oh, I don't know, eh? This is a hard one. Actually, I found it.
There we go.
All right, so scariest thing would be the end up to my Still Having Fun Colony Park. I did a caveman off this roof. I'm watching the clip. I don't know if it does it justice, but it was a 10-foot high roof into a 13-foot pool coping bowl. So I had to land, because it was over vert, I had to land like around 6 or 7 foot. So it was like it was a pretty large drop, and that was one of the scariest things I think I've done, to be honest. Yeah, that was actually one of the scariest, because it was like the bowl, and I'm like, this is like 20 foot. This is like over 20 foot tall.
Was it rough riding in Perth? Did you grow up there?
No, actually, even though everyone thinks I did grow up in Perth, I grew up in Rosebud, which is an hour from Melbourne. But I was working for a circus in Perth for like around a year, so I spent a lot of time there. And I think Perth's good because I was there in the summer and it never rained. Like, it did not rain for 4 months, so it was always good weather to ride. But yeah, and there's really good parks over there, so it was heaps of fun. No resis though, but that makes you better at other stuff. So it was. I think it was. I reckon it's really fun. I don't know if I'd say rough, but it's good.
Question 6: what's it like growing up goofy?
Goofy. Wow. Well, I think it's a little bit interesting because I look up to a lot of riders and I like look at how they ride, and they ride like normal bars and whips. I'm like, then I go to like it's kind of like hard for me to do that because like I ride a little bit differently, but I always like, I guess it's kind of cool because I like ride a bit differently to people, but I think it makes some tricks a little bit harder, but other tricks is a little bit easier. So I think you just take the good with bad, and yeah, Goof. I don't know, I like Goofy's alright.
Question 7: what are your goals for the future, and would you like to ride in the Olympics?
Yeah, I would really like to ride in the Olympics. I think my goals for the future would be like, it's not, Olympics isn't like my big one goal. I just want to get out and do as much BMX stuff as I can and ride all around the world, just do as many competitions as I can, and whether it's like X Games or freaking Battle of Hastings, I really would like to do that one day. Yeah, definitely X Games, and then yeah, I just want to do everything you can on a BMX. Really, I just like all sorts of BMX riding and all competitions. So I think Olympics I'd like to do that as well. But yeah.
What goes through your mind before you're about to do something nuts?
Um. Well, I always think I always like I guess I always just try to be as prepared as I can. So like I'm not gonna yeah, I'll do stuff that I'll do the right things to like prepare to do something nuts. When I go to do it, I guess it's a bit of fear, but in the back of your mind you know you can do it. I think being prepared and doing like lots of so if I was gonna do like a flare down whip, I'll make sure I've done a flare down whip on the box I'd do a flare on the box a few times and then I'd do 180 down whip on the box and I'll just make sure I'm dialed before I go to like do something crazy. So
So
I
you're a
think
bit
that
more
helps.
like calculated than what everyone thinks you are,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'd
So I feel
say
like the vibe you give is just go out and send it.
yeah, but I definitely reckon I do calculate what I do. But a lot of the time I go like risk versus reward. I think sometimes I'm willing to risk a lot more than what I'm going to get out of it. Like I guess if I'm calculated, it's all right.
Nice. What milestone is the most difficult in BMX, in your opinion?
Milestone. The hardest part is probably like when I was younger, you grow up and then you get to about like 17, 16 to 18. I feel like a lot of people, like a lot of your mates stop doing it. And then
Mm.
living in Rosebud, living where I did in Melbourne, there wasn't too many riders. So it was kind of like when everyone turned 18, they kind of got a license and stopped they just drove their cars around or whatever. I don't know. But then I was like kind of riding by myself a lot, which that was it was a bit demotivating, but I still just like BMXing so much that I was happy to do it by myself. And I just kept doing what I like doing no matter what all the parties and whatever people did when they were 18. But yeah, I'd say that's probably the hardest to like for a lot of kids to get through as well. So yeah.
What made you love BMX?
What made me love BMX? I'd say I just liked you can just so it's like different to a lot of other sports that people do. I guess I liked it because I could just go out, like whether it's the backyard or right out the front. You can just there's you don't have to have a time and a place to do it. You can ride BMX wherever or whenever you want. I think that's like and yeah, you can if you're like having a bad day or whatever, you just ride some BMX and it always just fixes everything, doesn't it?
How do you keep your hair so luscious?
Well, I don't know if luscious is the word for my hair, but I just I just brush it with my fingers sometimes. I don't actually use a hairbrush. And then I maybe I reckon I have shampoo and conditioner it maybe once a year. So that's how I look after it.
Love that. The old fingers through the hair
Yeah.
trick. Nice.
Do I need to get some big ones out?
Yeah. What has been your worst injury from riding BMX?
I'd say I like tore my PCL not long ago, and then that was like probably the longest one I had to do. It was like 3 months before I could ride properly, and then I guess I wasn't strong enough the ligament or something. But then I straight away torn it again, and then that was like the hardest part because it was just so much time off. I just like having something to do all the time. So that was definitely my hardest one.
How old were you when you started riding?
Yes. I started racing BMX when I was 8 years old. Yeah, I got my first 18-inch freestyle bike when I was 11. And then, yeah, so I started riding skate parks and freestyle when I was 11. All right. Thanks, JK, for the interview. Hope you guys like it. And I'll see you at the skate park.